Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Firefly Tarot. So we're gonna do our weekly reading. What do you need to know this week? And for our options, I only have cards, so it really is pick a card. I don't have the names down perfectly, but I shortened some of them, and I will show you each one individually. So I hope you guys had a chance to see my last pick a card, which was the rest of your year, the rest of your 2023 in 3 different areas. So if you missed that, it's the video right before this one, and I'll probably link it below as well. Okay, so what do you need to know this week? Some advice and guidance. We have here group number 1, the affirmation card. We have group number 2. I just called this the heart card. Group number 3 is, I guess we can call this the eye one, but this I think is called the Wandering Star Tarot. And then group number 4 is the Chakra card. I think it's from the Chakra Wisdom deck. Okay. All right, so just take as much time as you need, and you can pause if you need to. Whenever you are ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 1, which is the affirmation card. I'm not planning to use the entire deck, but the actual card that you drew here, it says, I must jump first. I know the universe will catch me. This feels very much like the Fool card to me. Just taking some kind of a risk, taking some kind of action, understanding some powerful message from yourself and your subconscious as well as your soul, and really listening to that's what I'm getting from this card. Okay. It's really beautiful. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has for you for this week. Spirit, this reading is for group number 1, please. Our affirmation group. Spirit, what do they need to know this week, please? And thank you for group number 1. What do they need to know this week? Just some helpful guidance for navigating this week. Thank you. So the number 1 thing that they said, this is sort of early on in your week, even could be today. They are emphasizing that some kind of conflict, or it's just like a disagreement that you could be dealing with, whether now or just maybe within a day or so, it is going to be very temporary and unimportant to your path. They want you to not focus on this, just because I guess the tendency is to get kind of sucked into conflicts when they happen. So Spirit is just reminding you that this is not important. It's not anything having to do with your spiritual path or your goals or your own individual health and path and everything like that. They just want you to be reminded of that. That's all. Okay, so whether that's happening today or it's happening soon, just try to keep that in mind, that it's going to pass. It's not really anything to kind of like use your energy on. Spirit, what else do they need to know this week, please? Group number 1. And now I definitely feel like this is referring back to your card. I must jump first. I know the universe will catch me. So here it does look like you might this week feel very undecided about stepping outside of either your comfort zone or your current situation. Because you can see here with the 4 of Pentacles that it looks like somebody who's quite stuck. But I don't think you're stuck in a way I usually see stuckness in the tarot. I do feel that this is stuck by, or like staying in your place by choice. So it's not necessarily the word stuck. It could just be that whole thing, like just staying in your place for whatever reason. It could just be because, like probably some of you might think it's just best for you right now just to stay where you are, to continue doing what you're doing. Others of you, it may not occur to you that you can make a choice that's different. And then there's others of you that it could be something with fear, of course. That's usually, a big part of it. But yeah, this week I do feel like there will be particularly this back and forth energy about this. So yes, it's talking about jumping first, making some kind of a choice, taking some kind of a risk, not like a significant risk, but any kind of choice, even minor, that will land you in a different situation than you are currently. So yes, it is going to feel risky, but I don't think it's anything that is necessarily too scary, or, you know, it's nothing really that out of the ordinary, unless later down the line it leads to that where it's like bigger change and something more beneficial. Spirit, what else do they need to know for this week, please? Yeah, they actually kind of gave me the exact same message here. So we have the Moon card. So it does show some inner, I think, uncertainties and even insecurities shining here. Ironically, they use the word shining, even though it's like completely dark in this card. Okay, so you're not really sure who to listen to, I think, this week. It's this could be an inner battle with yourself. Of course, it could always be, I suppose, some of the voices or criticisms coming from outside of yourself. So whether it's people near you or just the way that you're viewing the situation could be something to already sort of like unconvince you regarding your decision. Like you might have wanted to step forward, but then the second that you thought about it and started to look outside of yourself, you're like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. This is not the right choice. It's not the right time. So I guess the message would be something like, if now is not the right time, then when is the right time, right? And if you do feel for your situation, because it's a split message here, if you can see a legitimate time where there's just like a better, sort of like a better projected outcome, then Spirit understands that, and they're not necessarily pushing you, but they are trying to remind you that your happiness does need to come first sometimes, like especially right now in this situation. For the rest of you, Spirit might be just kind of saying, you know, it might be the illusion that it's going to be better off if you wait, or if you are trying to prepare for a specific, almost like perfect set of circumstances. Spirit is saying that there's no such thing as that. So the bottom line, I think, with both categories of people here is that you must truly use your intuition to the point where you're not being blocked by fear and uncertainty, because that is actually what is kind of, I feel like, kind of screwing up the timeline here. Like it's messing with your sense of time in terms of getting this done or taking that step, taking that risk, whichever. Okay, so again, like I said, you may want to refocus on more of just why you even want this in the first place, which is the happiness, which is the freedom, the joy, the whatever. So again, like I said, they want to repeat this. Do not let fear be the reason that you decide to not do this. So I know that's kind of hard to do, right? But if you can refocus on the joy and that high vibration, it's going to feel like you're surrounded by this golden light. If you can do that and really envision that, you're actually going to be manifesting it. Spirit, what else do they need to know, please, just for this week? This is a big deal here. So I feel like this is definitely a bigger life decision than maybe you originally thought. It's going to lead to something bigger is what they're saying, because they spent a lot of time on that message. I definitely think at first it's not going to feel big. It might just feel like this small thing. I really wonder what that is for you, but Spirit, what else do we need to know? I do feel like there's going to be some tiredness at first this week, especially because of this internal kind of conflict, and then whatever's going on in your outer world is being reflected as well. Okay, so it's going to feel kind of like this tired old thing, and you might feel extra tired this week and have whatever, like fatigue or just this exhaustion that is not typical for you. If you always feel exhausted, maybe it's a little different, but I feel like this is going to be this you know, sort of like out of place tiredness. And then we see the Tower, which I feel is some kind of a shift. I would be cautious about any Tower card, but it's leading up to the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a good Tower card, I feel, if there's even such a thing, right? So the Nine of Pentacles, this is where it's leading up to. You have, I don't know how you did this, but in 1 week, you have made some kind of a drastic transformation, because you go from the Nine of Wands to the Nine of Pentacles, completely different energy. So you know, the Tower, I would love to get more information on that, but I am feeling that they do not want me to, so I'm going to respect that. It's probably just going to be some unexpected occurrence internally. Yes, it could be externally, but you know, whatever the case is, it's not going to matter. I can tell you it is I'm sorry for laughing. I'm just laughing at the way that they're giving me these messages is so like super mysterious. But they're talking about Wednesday. Okay, I don't know when you're watching this, But they did say something about Wednesday for a good, like, I don't know, 75% of you guys. For the rest of you, who knows at this rate, but this is happening this week, where there's going to be this shift. Again, it's unexpected. Just know that it's going to end with you feeling really great about things. Feeling more independent, feeling more financially capable, feeling more confident within your skills, which is leading all the way back to your first affirmation card. I must jump first. I know the universe will catch me. They said that like for the third time now. Okay. So that is happening. And then you also have the guide right there. Yes, this should happen by like, mid to end of the week, where you are going to be receiving some really nice signs that are going to feel very comforting to you. Okay. It's just going to make you feel very seen. Now, please don't be alarmed, but when I was talking about the signs, I got this really obvious pang in my left temple area. And so if you happen to get, it was really harsh actually. I don't know if maybe you get some guidance, some spiritual communication through that chakra. So whether your third eye and your crown chakra, maybe through clairaudience or claircognizance, whatever. I did receive some pain there. So I think they were just trying to identify that to me. I think this was probably last week, where I myself had some problems with headaches, and I'm talking obviously medical stuff aside. For me, sometimes that happens specifically when I have a blocked crown chakra or third eye chakra, and I just like to meditate, kind of visualize it opening up. I just guide it through the hands, and sometimes I use other tools, whatever, like crystals or oils. And this kind of felt like that. So I don't know, like if you're not typically the type of person to have headaches like in a chronic sense, and then you randomly get some weird sensation in the head, it could be kind of, some relating to this. Is there anything, let me use a couple of other different cards actually. I don't know which ones to use though. Spirit, do you have any preference? Let's try this one. This was actually from the other group, the Wandering Star Tarot. Spirit, do you have any final messages for group number 1 in what they need to know this week, please? Okay, hold on. It's just too many. Can we have one, please? Or... Okay, they gave you the 2 here. So we have the 2 of Pentacles again. Okay, that's interesting. And here it says harmony and balance. Okay, so here it's a good thing. They are confirming that you will make this internal decision. I don't know if you'll have time to take action in this one particular week, but they are saying that you're going to come to some sort of internal harmony regarding this. So that's a really good thing. Oh, wow. And then you have the Sun. This is really, really good news. And then the 3 of Wands. Okay. So with the Sun card, see what you're making the decision on. If it's not consciously, it'll be definitely within yourself. You'll be able to feel it, and it'll start to make sense as the weeks go by. It says light, life, and energy. So yeah, with the Sun card, this is always talking about joy, and as you can see, the fire, the passion. So this is really what you're deciding. You're not deciding on a specific circumstance. You're just deciding on your happiness. And then with the 3 of Wands, you're looking like, and basically it shows that you're looking into the future. There's a pentacle on your neck, and it almost looks like you're in awe of all of the possibilities for the future. So it says action, adventure, and luck. So as you can see, there's a really good outcome here. Okay, so I feel like that is, for the most part, what we're seeing for you this week. A lot of this is internal. I mean, some of it could just be coming from outside, but again, as I said before, it's just really reflective of your inner journey. Okay, so this is very interesting. Please let me know what this is for you. I'd like to know, like, basically what this decision is talking about. So thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this, you can subscribe, and I do personal readings. The info is always below. Okay, so sending you blessings, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 2, which is the Heart card. So the message behind is balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So some of you may have been drawn to this, obviously, because it looks like a love thing. So it could be that, but obviously it also could be within the self. Now, from what I am seeing here, I mean, it does look like you, or if it is about someone else, someone here is really struggling with some past wounds. So whether it's trauma or heartbreak or a lack of self-empathy, self-love, compassion. And basically, this could be the reason that some things could be out of balance right now. I don't know if you are experiencing a specific imbalance in your life, but that could be a big reason why, if you are. Okay, so let's get some messages for you for this week. Spirit, this reading is for group 2, please. Our heart group. Okay. Spirits, for group number 2, please. Heart, what do they need to know this week, please? Just any kind of helpful messages. What do they need to know? Oh my goodness, it's exactly what I just said. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, so we have the Four of Pentacles, which is basically blockage or even an excess of energy, kind of depending. And then here we have the Ace of Cups, which is representing the heart, okay? So you can see here that basically the heart is meant to be open and flowing in its energy. It's a very healthy and balanced energy where love, unconditional love, not just obviously romantic love, any kind of that loving energy is meant to flow freely and just keep replenishing itself, kind of like flowing from the cup into the waters and coming back up again is what I saw there. They also said something about forgiveness, but that's not for everybody here. I was drawn to this, which I'm assuming is the Eucharist. Not that this is about religion or anything, but they did say something about being forgiven. Maybe it could be you forgiving yourself, you're forgiving someone else. A lot of the times I feel like people think about forgiveness and they automatically think that means that they have to sort of like continue dealing with the person or whatever. I feel like forgiveness is more about it's more about freedom, just like freeing your heart from that type of negative energy. So I don't know exactly what your situation is, but this week, this is probably going to be really prominent in your heart. So it's like not heavy exactly, but it's going to be really a focal point of your heart. You're going to be probably operating from the space of your heart this week, less than your mind, not really in the head space, but definitely in the heart space. And if that's the case, if that's true for you guys, then you might feel a little off because there could be this blockage that you're struggling with, okay? If it interests you to clear your heart space, you may want to look up some meditation specifically for clearing of the heart chakra or some self-love meditations, things like that. Spirit, moving forward into this week, what do they need to know, please? I was called to say before, but I wasn't sure if I should, that I don't know if it's specific to the love situation, but if that is something that you really feel is a big focus for you guys right now, some of you, you may want to watch some of my old pick of cards. I'll link one that I happened to see myself yesterday, and I don't know if I was meant to see it, but I happened to see it in my own feed on my YouTube thingy. So I'll link that there. It was like so weird to watch that because like that was such an old video and I was not as experienced back then and I was shuffling like so aggressively. So it's like, if you guys are interested in learning tarot, trust me, it's with practice. It takes practice. So Spirit, what else? So yeah, I'll link that old video below if you want to have messages from a specific person, like romantically or whatever. So we have another ace here, Ace of Wands. We have Temperance, really, really beautiful message here, especially with the star, okay? 2 aces and 2 major arcana cards in a row. Very powerful, loving and healing energy to basically kind of completely combat this energy. So it's like it just, it completely opens up everything. I never ever noticed this before, And forgive me if you're not in the category that you didn't even want to hear about any love messages, but I actually am seeing the feminine and masculine combo together right here. I never interpreted these like together like that before, but whatever. So spirit is saying that there will be healing. So regardless if that matters to you or not, there will be healing. Okay, so this specific week, there's a lot of hopefulness, there's a lot of faith, there's a lot of tranquility. I'm feeling cleansing. Okay, so the water is really drawing me here. And when I think of water, I think of cleansing. So it's kind of similar. I like any kind of really clean body of water. If you've ever gone swimming in an ocean or a river or like whatever, like if you've ever had that experience, it does feel very replenishing and recharging and renewing. And that is kind of what it feels like for your soul. That's what I'm getting for your energy. There's going to be a lift because of this cleansing energy, and not to mention the starlight. Okay. The starlight is, I think, somehow recharging you, especially if you identify as a star seed. Something about the actual starlight. It could be also something planetary. Not that I know anything about any of that, but I feel like something with the starlight and the star power energy this week is going to really strengthen you in so many ways. So if you feel kind of unexpectedly charged this week, at any point, because I'm not sure when it's happening, this could be why. It's some internal spiritual shift because of the cleansing. I just noticed the water here as well. I didn't see that a second ago. But yeah, lots of balancing, cleansing, empowering. Spirit, what else do they need to know this week, please? Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. I feel like this is your own inner psychic energy, probably inner child, something like that. And it's paired, interestingly, with the King of Pentacles. So not of the same suit. Here, I feel like it's talking about sort of the balance between your inner psychic and creative energies or emotional energies and your outer conscious, practical energies. So is there a message they need to know about that? Kind of like... It's I think what's happening here is you're going to be very grounded and logical about how you proceed this week, especially if you're feeling a little bit high, like off of the spiritual energy. It's like high frequency, I think, is probably what I meant. You're going to be feeling very much in your higher mind, in a sense where it's very elevated. It's gonna feel a little bit like a mild exhilaration in the headspace, in the spiritual body. And I think you're gonna do a really good job of just being grounded, practical in this realm. You're not gonna be off in the clouds or anything. You're gonna be doing what you need to do, taking it very step by step, while at the same time really giving yourself the space to experience the depth of that spiritual shift. It's like a transformation. What else do they need to know just for this week? Anything in the outer world they need to be aware of? Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good. Again, we have balance, like we saw before. There does seem to be some kind of energy of coming together with someone, or even, like I said, even yourself and your environment. But it does feel very wholesome. It feels very safe and secure. If it does involve another person, I do feel there will be safety this week with this person, meaning, like, for example, if there was some, I don't know, argument, or if there was some issue in the area of a relationship, a connection, home life, whatever, it does feel like there will be safety again. Just a feeling of peace, a feeling of harmony. Okay. And, you know, again, this could be outside as well, like, for example, at work or with friendship or something like that. What else do we need to know this week? I mean, it's looking good. Like, this week is looking really good. What else do we need to know, please? It had a little bit of that rough start, but, you know, it really changed very rapidly. So if you are having kind of a rough start to your week, or whether it's today or yesterday, it should be clearing up soon, like within a day or two at the max, I think. Okay, we also have here the Empress, and then the Four of Swords. We have 4 and 4 here. So with the Empress, and the Four of Swords, I kind of felt almost like vacation, even though I don't know if that's literal, but it just feels like resting. It feels like resting your light for a second and not feeling pressured or anxious to show your light to the world or to anyone for that matter. It just feels like replenishing your energy and your aura, like I said before. And it feels like giving yourself permission to just completely sort of like lie back and rest and relax and reorient yourself and realign yourself and not feel guilty for it. I don't know if you feel guilty for taking breaks or for resting your mind, your spirit, and your body. If you do feel guilty regularly, try to really look at that and balance that, because if if you need to rest and you feel as though you're doing something wrong, just really try to reevaluate that, because obviously that's not what spirit wants for you, to like be chronically exhausted all the time. So just really try to give yourself some grace there. Spirit, any other final messages with this deck, and then I'll get one more. We have the Hermit. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Even though the outside world is looking really, really good for your balance and harmony, there's also this new enlightenment for you towards the end of the week with just yourself. This is towards the end of the week is all they really said here. Some of you, the number 7 did come up though. So with the Hermit card, this is some beautiful shining illumination, enlightenment. It could be for some of you just like with your own ideas, your perspectives, your spiritual information and path. The rest of you, if your spiritual journey is very connected with your creativity, that's also included there. I had a special shout out to my writers. There was some like some message if you're a writer that you're going to get some really great depth into your writing or any other creative energy as well, in case we had that there. And then the final thing I'm going to get for you is actually from the other group. This is the Chakra Wisdom deck. Can we have a final message or two for group number 2? For what do they need to know this week? Okay, so we have here confusion. Anything else? You know what's funny? I don't think that this is for you at all. I actually think that this is for those of you that were dealing with another person. Someone here is quite confused. Can you tell us any other outcome or help? Yeah, okay. Oh, it's because of what I said before. That's really interesting. Okay, so remember before I actually started off talking about a wound or a trauma or something? That is why someone in this situation is confused. So if it's not the other person, it could be you on some subconscious part. So someone here may have been a victim of some kind of negative energy or harm or something like that in the past, and this is really leading to a complete lack of clarity with the spiritual centers, with even with just like the mind itself, there's that confusion, there's that fog. And just one thing to keep in mind here with Workaholic card is that you or someone else could have been completely, I think, overcompensating in some way and just working all the time and piling it on the plate to avoid, to subconsciously avoid some kind of other stressors, such as some internal, conflicts and things like this. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. I do have plenty of other pick of cards. They're all pretty therapist-y because that's my style. That's what I am. So you may want to check out any other pick of cards that call to you. Just kind of scroll through, and if you feel like there's something that you need to know about, like something deeper emotionally, I encourage you to check those out, just like to peruse. Final message, please. Oh, okay. Well, it keeps adding. So this could be another hint. This could be some kind of past rejection, but not like, oh, this person didn't want to go out with me. Nothing like that. This is like a deep sense of rejection where we feel rejected at our core. That could relate to stuff with childhood. So this is a lot coming out right at the end of the reading. So it's a little surprising. But anything else? And then we have perseverance. So I just wanted to see where this was leading, because this is a guidance message. So they're trying to say to you, or even a message on behalf of the other person, I suppose, that all of this was to get you to the point of some kind of perseverance, passion, and leadership. This is the point of it. Like, so if you went through some kind of a difficult path and you're wondering, what is all of this for? It was for your strength. I know that sounds very cliche, but they did give you perseverance. So keep going. That's another guidance message there, is to keep going. And like I said, there's a lot of balance, there's a lot of healing, and just so much power going on here. So don't give up, okay? All right, so I think I'm going to leave it there, group number 2. I really hope that this was helpful. I realize that this is probably a heavy reading just for a weekly thing, but just hang tight. Everything is balancing out very nicely, okay? So I hope you were able to see my the rest of your 2023 reading. I'll link that below as well, just in case you missed it. So thank you guys. If you want a personal reading, info is below. Otherwise, I will see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 3, which is the Wandering Star Tarot card. So the actual card itself is the Magician. So we have power, action, and skill. So we'll see how this relates to your reading. And then I'll use those later, I believe, for my other deck. Spirit, this reading is for group number 3, please. Please and thank you. What do they need to know this week? Just some helpful guidance. Thank you. Spirit, what is your first message for group 3? What do they need to know this week? Wandering Star Tarot. Okay. We have the 5 of Wands. What do they need to know this week, please? And then we have the Page of Cups. This is a little similar to, I think it was the group right before. I actually don't remember at this rate. But it seems like the beginning part of this week in the collective is a little conflicted for a lot of us. Some it's more internal, but this actually looks like it's external for you guys, that there could be some disagreements. With the Page of Cups, though, I feel like whether this is you or even someone near you, kind of completely harmonizing that mess, whatever was going on there. It feels like someone here is a natural peacemaker, just by their words, just by their presence, realistically because of their energy, and they are calming the fire or the passion. It's not necessarily a negative thing always with this card, but it does seem like there's different points of view and everyone is kind of equally passionate about what they're trying to deliver. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about that if you're starting to see that some things are kind of firing a bit in your environment, with yourself included. You could be part of that, so don't worry either way. I feel like there's going to be some kind of peace in the situation. This is starting to feel almost like a spirit guide too. You know how they kind of just show up and their energy is very soothing. Spirit, what do they need to know this week, please, moving forward into this week? And speaking of guides, okay, I feel like there's about to be a message here. We have the Judgment card, and then we have the 3 of Cups. I am going to say that there's going to be, for you guys specifically, some heavy spirit team involvement this week. I feel like they are trying to show you something. They're trying to get your attention to something that is completely without your awareness. You can see that you're blindfolded and just sort of tied up here. All right. And they're trying to show you something that is going to be in your favor, something that's going to make you feel like the Star card, very freed, tranquil, powerful, and connected. Okay, so let's see what that could be. That's exciting. I don't know what on earth it could be. But Spirit, can you tell us what's going on here? What is the... I don't know if I'm even allowed to tell you, because sometimes that kind of kills it. But Spirit, what do they need to know this week for this message? Thank you. So the number one thing they said right here, and this is almost like the opposite of what I was looking for, they said something that I didn't understand, and I thought at first that it was a bad thing, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't match. but now I see why they did that. So when I saw the Judgment card as I was shuffling, they actually, with this, they actually said red flag. That's exactly what they said. And I was like, okay. And then this card came out, Seven of Swords, right? So the first thing that they're going to show you this week, probably the number 3 is involved, whether it's a third day or something with that number. They're going to show you a red flag, which again is the opposite of what I thought they would first get into, but this makes sense because by showing us what's not right for us, we then know what is, right, afterwards. So they are going to show you at least one red flag in this week, whether it's by day 3 or, you know, close by. Try to look out for that. I don't know exactly how you are going to know that it's a red flag, because like for me, I feel like my guides and my intuition usually give me anxiety about something if I know it's not right, or sometimes I'll even have a physical resistance to something. It kind of depends. So however you guys receive messages, just look out for that. Like I said, it could be any number of things with your intuition, but look out for the red flag. Okay, so then what else do we need to know? What is there, like a green flag here? And if you're not familiar with the phrase red flag, please, it just means be very cautious. It's like a warning, you know, just like a warning that something's not right here. Just like stay away. It could be because of a person, a situation, a project, you know, try not to say yes to anything at first if you're not entirely sure, okay? And then here we have the Queen of Swords. This is good. So immediately we do see that there will be some type of clarity that you'll be receiving. It keeps going up higher and higher. You're going to be having some specific clarity about that specific thing. I don't know the order of the sequence because it could happen before or after, actually. Spirit, what else do they need to know about this particular thing? The Knight of Wands. And anything else? Any final message about this? Okay. Oh, okay. I understand now. So, your guides are working double, like, what do you call overtime this week to to really get your attention. So, they're like, come on, just don't miss this, is what they're saying. Do not miss the red flag. Okay, so I don't want you to worry because I think ultimately you're going to be safe and you're going to be supported. But they are saying that there's something here that's really not going to be in your favor. And the reason that they're showing you nope is because shortly after this, maybe let's say either next week or the following week, for sure, like in that time frame, there will be an opportunity that's much better for you. So I'm not even trying to say that this thing is a negative thing in itself. I mean, some of you it could be, but not for all of you. It could just be that this is not right for you and you cannot see it in this particular moment just yet, because in a week or two they're going to show you something better. Now I understand that that could be nerve-wracking for you guys if you're waiting on a particular opportunity. Let's say some of you had applied for a job and you got an offer and you're like, oh crud, like what do I do now, right? So that, you know, in a case like that, it's difficult. We never really know what is the right decision until afterwards sometimes. I guess sometimes you do, like some people do know, like that's tough. Like you have to be super intuitive. I think that for many of us, it's kind of just a gamble, right? Like unless we just have a really joyous feeling about it. So I understand, you know, there's going to be some confusion. There's going to be this indecision. If you're able to give it some time and just give yourself a little bit of time and space with regard to this particular decision, then please try to do that, because what they're telling me is that you are going to have the clarity like basically as soon as you possibly will need it. So what else do we need to know, please, about this week? Because I was drawn to the Star card, and that's a very positive card for you to say that some wish is actually still coming true for you. But over here, they're saying do not act rashly. Okay, so another way that you could tell is just by the energy that you're making a particular decision this week. If you feel like you're doing it impulsively, if you feel like you're rushed, if you feel like there's that anxiety, take a step back and just give some space to you and also to the person if you are being asked of something. Spirit, what else do they need to know just for this week, please? Thank you. The Knight of Pentacles is the same thing. They said try to slow down, just to slow it down. There's going to be, for many of you, there's not going to be harm in slowing it down. Now, again, you have to follow your intuition, because if there is something that you're like, no, I want to make this decision, then obviously, it's totally up to you, because it can vary. But I'm just saying, if you feel uncertain, if you feel anxious about it, and you're able to delay it a little bit, then there's no harm in doing that, and you'll see what they mean. Spirit, what else just for this week? I feel like if you're sure of the decision, though, you're probably part of the smaller percentage. It's like a 15% of you, I would say, definitely already know what decision to make. Either it's going to be a yes or no, but you know what you want to decide. So here with the Two of Wands, again, they're speaking of something having to do with the future. So the 2 and the 2 is together here. And they're saying that, oh my goodness, you have another one here. So they're kind of giving you a very obvious message there. That's been happening so often with the repeating numbers, that they're trying to still give you something. There's still something in the future that they're going to be presenting to you. And yeah, you just kind of have to kind of wait and see, I suppose. Anything else just for this week? The Tower. Yeah, it's still not quite there. Like, you cannot quite expect anything. It's just trying to remind you that life is always going to be unexpected, and the best thing that you can hang on to, again, is your own inner guidance. What I am finding interesting is the very first card we started off with. With the Magician, I typically have a very empowered feeling. There's a lot of focus, but here I kind of felt a hint of this energy. It was kind of like almost like over enthusiastic, to the point where it was not exactly aggressive, but it was a little bit too impulsive in some sense. So be careful. If you are not balanced with that energy, as we saw with this card, it can definitely turn into something like, oh man, I wish I would have waited to say like the answer to that, or something. It was kind of like that. Spirit, any final messages for group number 3, and what do they need to know this week? And by the way, I know that a lot of this was very mysterious, and I did kind of warn you that that's what would happen. Your guides are being very mysterious. I'm lucky I got anything about this card, because they were going to just stay completely shut. Is there any final message that we need to know for group number 3 for this week? What do they need to know? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. Just this week. We have 7 of Pentacles, the same exact card. Or message. It's saying that we must wait. So goals, potential, and success, you can see that something is still growing. And here is probably the hint of what that will be. So I don't think we had that before, but this is not necessarily with like what it says here. It says beginnings, love, relationships. Obviously, it could be beginnings for a lot of you. Just something of a gift. I do see some receiving of a gift within maybe the next couple of weeks. Any other final messages of advice, guidance, anything else further that we need to know to caution them or anything like that? And wow, we have another beginnings card. Ace of Wands. It says career, beginnings, travel. I don't think that these are exactly literal, but it could mean something. And then here we have justice, balance, and equality. I really like the way that sounds, especially if you were wondering about your careers and something with the finances. I mean, it could be relationships for some of you. But whatever the case is, this is good, because we have 2 aces, 2 new beginnings in a little bit of time. Again, we have to be patient for that. And then you can see that everything is balancing out. So I'm really curious to know what this is about. You can let me know. And again, I would never ever tell anyone what to do. Really, that's not my goal in any tarot reading, right? But I do like to present at least the paths so that there could be some clarity, and then you guys can just use your best judgment and your intuition. So do let me know. I hope, though, that some of these messages will stay within the back of your mind. And if it does align with your intuition, then hopefully it'll help to get you that one step further. So we'll see what happens here, okay? And then maybe in a week or 2, I can follow up with this. And if this energy basically follows us, we can see how it all turns out, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for you guys for today. I hope that this was helpful. If you did find it helpful, you can subscribe, and I do personal readings. The info is always below. Okay, so I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you that chose group number 4, which is the Chakra Wisdom deck, and your actual card is Acceptance. It's very interesting how the image is like, I really have to look into the guidebook for this one, but it's interesting because she has cut cherry pie. I don't know if she's giving it as an offering or something like that, or it's vice versa. It's such an interesting image. Okay, so what do you need to know this week? Spirit, this reading is for group number 4. Chakra Wisdom group. Thank you, thank you. What do they need to know this week? Spirit, what is your first message for group 4? Just some helpful guidance for this week. Thank you. We have the 3 of Cups. Spirit, what else for just this week? It kind of does look like some hidden help, if you ask me. So I feel like it's actually just confirming whatever is going on in that first card, because they have the 7 of Swords. It's almost like this help that you cannot see. Wow. Okay, I am convinced. I definitely am convinced now. So I think that for this week, there's going to be, and this is kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's a theme lately, but for you guys, I think that there's going to be a very specific blood-related spirit guide that is coming through to really give you some support on something that you really didn't see at all. And I do think another group got a similar message, but this is really strong for you guys. I do think that it was someone in your family, or even is someone in your family, where there will just be this nudge, this support, this conversation, this or communication. And I don't think that this is a typical thing. I feel like this is just something that is meant to give you a really strong nudge in a particular direction. Spirit, is there anything we need to know about this? So yeah, this particular guide is trying to move you forward in some specific way. I don't know if you were asking for this guidance or it just kind of came up. Either way, it's going to show you the direct path. Spirit, what else do they need to know just for this week? Group 4. I think people keep getting the Tower card. And wait a minute, this is eerie, because I just realized this a little, like, delayed. I think the group before you and another group got this exact combo. I don't know what's happening, but maybe this is a collective energy where either there's like a whole bunch of amazing new beginnings for people, or there's something having to do with balance, because this to me, in one group, looked like masculine and feminine together, the energies. It is weird. And I also saw the Tower a bunch of times. So I do think the collective is going through this theme together. Okay. So we have the 2 aces here, like I said, the Tower, the 3 of Swords. So this is going to depend on your situation, but it does seem to me that there is going to be an awakening of your heart. Okay, group 4, bear with me for a second here. But the 3 of Swords, I got a specific feeling that the heart space was almost encased within cement. So I don't know if this is you or someone near you or that's important to you, but that's quite a message for the heart energy, the heart chakra, whatever you want to call it, to be completely covered in cement. This does not mean that the heart chakra is dead or whatnot. This just means that it was completely walled up to the point of, maybe someone trying to protect it. I've never seen a vision like this ever in my life. But I actually did kind of see a faint image of the swords actually still in the heart as it was covered in cement. So oddly, it's almost as if to say that the pain of the heart was keeping it from completely being covered and buried forever. It's very odd, right? But I suppose that makes sense emotionally, where, sometimes it's like if that wound is like that painful energy is all we know. I suppose it can fuel us in some ways. It's a whole thing. But with the Tower card, I feel like what I am seeing here, and this is very specific again, is that you can see the lightning striking the tower, which does look like it's made of that similar kind of cement. I mean, the gray and the structure of it. So this week could be very intense for you emotionally. It's going to have a great outcome, and even the whole way, it's not going to be so heavy, but it is going to be intense. I don't know if you've already had similar messages where you could see in the energy in previous readings that something was building here. And what you can see as the result of all of that, like I said, definitely new beginnings of some kind, an increasing amount or intense amount of passion and fire and life, basically life force. Here with the Ace of Cups, it's hard to say if this is exactly your heart space or even someone else's or something like that. But the heart energy in this part of the reading is completely overflowing in a good way. You know, not overflowing where it's too much, but it's actually overflowing in a way that this is much needed, is what I saw there. Okay, Spirit, what do they need to know just for this week? Is there any specific events or anything that's happening? So, I mean, again, it is going to be a very positive outcome for you. I do think that this is matching internally and externally, where there will be some type of success, there will be some type of celebration of achievement, whether it's emotionally or just in your path, you know, whatever goals you were focusing on. But yeah, lots of success this week. Recognition as well. And there we have the Fool, okay, the good old Fool. So this is showing, like I said, the complete new beginning and definitely freedom. I am getting deja vu. I do feel like I've said this before to you guys, you know, and if I have, and it's just been this recurring message of the Fool, the Fool, the Fool, that's actually a good thing. I feel like the more the merrier in this particular setting, because it is, and it is lining up with the coming of the new year. And I do hope you were able to see my previous reading about the rest of your 2023. I'll link it below in case you didn't see it. But yeah, this is a very powerful, kind of reminds me of that phrase coming of age in a way, where I think that this type of spiritual transformation, rebirth, whatever, it's hitting you in a different way. It's hitting you in a way it never has before. So this could mean a lot of the blindfolds are coming off. It could mean, again, the heart chakra is completely just blasting open, which sounds like a weird phrasing, but that cement is blasting away. That's kind of how they phrase that there. And therefore there's a feeling of liberation. Okay, I really like that word for you because again, that's freedom. There is a cleansing here. There's the wonderful guide always at your feet or like just close by to you to show you the way, because you know how it is, without guidance, without that sense of wisdom, we can become reckless if it's not balanced, so just be careful. So yeah, this is really good. Okay, anything else, anything in the outer world? What do we need to know here just for this week? This is a lot, even though it's just for 1 week. It's a very powerful message. We have Temperance, which is supporting the idea of healing, balance, just rejuvenation. And then we have the Eight of Cups, which is talking about moving on from the heaviness of the past, as well as that intense tower feeling. This is also a feeling of desire to want to travel and to see new things and to try new things and to be a new person, I think. So it's, again, this is just a very loaded reading for you guys. And I think that your next year, 2024, is going to be very interesting. It's going to be hugely transformative. Like I can't even begin to tell you. It's going to be huge. So be sure to check out for that reading. I'll probably do it, you know, towards the end of the year, the 2024 reading. Okay, so do we have any other additional messages for group number 4? I'll use the deck I was talking about. Spirit, what else, please? Group number 4, any final messages just for this week? What do they need to know? Thank you. I feel like with you guys, if you, I don't want to say like chronic group 4, but like I just feel like this particular energy, for some reason, I always get the most vivid visions ever. Like I've never seen that before. It kind of in this vision, it kind of also looked a little bit like a, it's gonna sound kind of gross, but like a nest. Have you ever seen one of those, I saw this once in my life. It kind of freaked me out, but it was like a little wasp mud nest thingy, and it had like those little holes in it. Sorry, it's gross, but like the reason I'm mentioning it is because it's like basically it feels like home. That's kind of why I wanted to say that. Sorry, but yeah, like I feel like the word home again might mean something to you, and just like that feeling of safety emotionally. Spirit, final messages, please. So with impartiality, if I'm saying that properly, as you can see, we do have the, I mean, here it says paint. That's what it says on, if you can't see that. So it is basically acting like scales. The direct message I got with this card was you want to make sure this week that you are very open to both sides of something, because although you might be leaning towards one thing, whether it's a decision or a perspective or an action or whatever, you Spirit really wants you to know that you have to be open to, completely open to what is in your highest good. And sometimes that does not match up with what we want. So if you can really trust within the divine and the obvious guidance that you're getting this week and in general, it's actually going to work out better for you, and like it's the best possible outcome for you. So again, try to let go of what you already believe and just really try to be impartial. Okay. Any final messages for group 4? We have prayer, and let's get one more. Actually, let's see a couple more. Okay, so we have prayer. We had up here victim, kind of obviously flipping upside down. We have grief. And then over here, we have insecurity and joy. Basically, from all of these together, I kind of just felt that there was a message of, oh, actually, it's the same thing. Look, see? It looks almost exactly the same. That's pretty crazy. And now we probably can see why there was cement over the heart, because this to me does not look like a friendly presence. That looks honestly a little, I don't want to use the, the D word, but that does not look like a very positive presence. So yeah, I can see why there was protection of the heart. There's even crossing over of the arms of the over the heart space. Whatever happened here to cause this walling up of the heart, basically what they're saying, whether it was because of a loss, it could have been grief, it could have been you maybe were a victim of something happening. I think that their point of showing you this is that this may have affected your ability to feel joyful in your life. Okay, so they gave us the prayer card. I don't know if maybe this is talking directly about a message of faith, not necessarily religion, but just like faith and spirituality and being connected. But prayer alone can be very beneficial. I'm seeing a similarity with the color yellow. It can be empowering for you, so it can make you feel connected to something higher. If prayer is just basically thought and intention, right? And maybe if it has something to do with being connected to nature, just Mother Earth, I feel like that can really be beneficial to you as well. I feel like there's definitely a message there because of the fact that the dress has flowers on it. So I think as a final message, just focus, even though there's a lot going on here, just try to focus on your actual sense of joy, but specifically feeling joy this week. I know you have a lot going on, but throughout the whole thing, just now and into the future, try your best to experience feeling joy. And when I'm emphasizing it, because I don't know if there was like a numbness or something like that. It could be difficult to feel joy, but that is what they are pointing out to you this week, okay? So group 4, that is what I am seeing for this week. Please let me know if this resonated, because it was just such an interesting story. But yes, that is what I have for you. So thank you guys so much. If you found this helpful, feel free to subscribe. And I do personal readings. The link is always below. Okay, so thank you once again, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.